Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. I am Amalgam Ash, and this is a tutorial on how to listen for Keypress inputs in Smile Game Builder. Now, the reason you might want to do this is because you may need to check to see if a player has pressed a particular button while they are on a given map, or perhaps you want to event your own menu system. All of these things will require checking to see if the player has pressed certain buttons. So to get started, we'll just open up a new project, or you can open up the one you're working on now. And how you use this will depend on whether you want it to be a common event that is always listening, or just an event on a particular map. If you want it to only happen on one particular map, you can go to your Events tab while you're in the map editor and click on Advanced Events. Then just click on some out-of-the-way square, something that's going to be behind some collision, and you can create your event there. If you would like this to be ever present across all maps, then you would go to Edit Game Data and navigate to the Common Events tab, and you would place your advanced event here. So you can click Advanced Events and then the Add button. Now, if you do this one way and decide you wanted to do it the other way later, you can just copy all of the event panels, create a new event, and paste them. The first thing you want to do is make sure that your start event is set to automatically start, synchronized, and repeated. The reason being, this type of event trigger will constantly be happening, but in the background. It won't interrupt your current processes. The difference between this and automatically start repeated is that the repeated event logic will simply fire over and over again. This event will be in an infinite loop in the foreground. It will stop anything else from happening. The synchronized and repeated will be something that happens in the background. You can go on to play your game while this event runs, checking for inputs in the background. So we'll click the plus button. I like to work in the panel view, but if you're more accustomed to working in display mode, you can do that here and just click Insert Event Panel. And the key to all of this is the event panel under the Variables tab, which is Advanced Variable Box Op. Advanced Variable Box Op does a lot of different things. It basically will take an input or a condition that you set and assign the value of that to a variable that you can use elsewhere. So we'll leave this set to variable box, and then we have the option to select what variable we would like to choose. So I'll just go with the very top one, as always, and I'm going to name it Keypress Up. And under the How section, this is actually asking you which one of these values you would like to assign to this variable. And we have a big list. We have random numbers, fixed values, variable boxes, number displayed in variable box, amount of money, held item number, character information. We want key input though, so we're going to select that. And now that we've selected key input, we have a sub-selection that changes based on what we've chosen above. And we can now listen for any of these keys: up, down, left, right, decide, cancel, dash, switch viewpoints, camera rotate up, down, left, right, zooming in or out, camera reset. These are all things that we can listen for. So we're going to listen to see if the up key is pressed. And under do what, we will just assign. That's what we want to do, is assign the value of keypress up to the variable keypress up. So you might wonder at this point, if we're pressing a button, how does that translate to a variable? A variable is just a number, right? Well, that's correct. And actually, every button that you press does translate to a specific number. So for key input, whether you are pressing up, down, left, right, A, B, start, it will return a value of 1 while it is pressed, 2 the moment it is pressed, and -1 the moment it is released. And if you forget, you can just mouse over this submenu and you'll get this contextual tip. It does seem to go away pretty quick after you get it to pop up. Okay, so this is all we're going to do here. This is the only thing we need to do here in this screen for just this tutorial's purposes. Let's hit apply and then OK. And now you can see we have an event. This is one of the events, since I set this up in common events, that will run all of the time, every map, everywhere. I'm going to call it Keypress Listen, and we'll just hit OK. Now I'm going to add an event to my start map. We are now going to take advantage of what happens when that variable has the information in it that is telling you the up button is being pressed. Okay, so whatever event that you would like to make in response to your button being pressed, you can do that now. The important thing is to make sure you set up your left side event conditions and to check the specific start event selection. So for the left side event sheet conditions, we're going to click Add Condition and then select Variable Box. And when the variable box key press up is equal to 1, which is the value, if you remember, that it returns whenever the button is held down. And then for the start event, we're going to select Automatically Start, Synchronize, and Repeat, so it doesn't interfere with any of the other events that might happen on our map, such as characters talking to each other, battles initiating, things like that. And this is pretty much the framework. Whatever we want to put at this point in between these two panels is the event that'll happen. So just to go ahead and give you an example, we'll go to the first tab in the event panel selection for dialogue and display text on screen as image. And we'll just give ourselves a message that up is being pressed. Hit apply and OK. Let's see what this looks like. So here's our brand new project, and we can walk our player around left, down, right, and then when I press up, you'll notice in the upper left corner of the screen, the up is being pressed text appears. That is because the listen for key input has fired. Now it so happens that showing text on screen is persistent, so this is going to stay on the screen regardless of whether I am no longer pressing up or if I press up twice or 3 times or what have you. Let's go a step further, shall we? Alright, so I'm going to go back to Edit Game Data, back to the Common Events tab, and I'm going to edit Keypress Listen. I'm going to right-click and copy the advanced variable box op, and I'm going to paste it right onto the plus sign underneath. This time I'd like to name my second variable key press down, and I would like to assign the key input of down to it. We will paste the event panel again, name our third variable key press left, and assign the left key press to it, and paste it once more. Name our variable key press right, and assign our right input to that. So when you're done, you should have 4 advanced variable box operation panels. You are assigning the key inputs for up, down, left, and right to 4 different variables, which we have called key press up, key press down, key press left, and key press right. Hit apply and OK. Apply and OK. Hitting apply is something I do. It's not something you have to do. I just find it's good practice, so I do it. And now I'll go back to the event on my map, and I'm going to edit that event. And this time, I'm going to copy the display text on screen as image event panel because I'm going to be using this panel a few more times. Now, this event sheet has the condition key press up equal to 1. We can't put anything else here unless we just want to add to the event logic that fires whenever you press the up button. So we're going to add a new event sheet, and we'll paste our event panel here. We'll change the text to say down is being pressed. We'll keep everything else the same. And we'll add the condition variable box key press down is equal to 1. And finally, we'll change the start event to synchronize and repeat. We'll do this again up to 4 times total for each of the different key inputs that we are listening for. Apply and OK. And let's see what happens when we playtest this. Watch the upper left corner of the screen. Down is being pressed, left is being pressed, up is being pressed, right is being pressed. We can assign all of the other existing keys that SGB allows us to use to common events and variables, and we can create outputs based on what is being pressed. Now, there are dozens of reasons why you might wish to do this, and for me, I'm going to be working on emulating the Final Fantasy XIV cross hotbar at some point, and when I do, it's going to absolutely need to listen for all of the key inputs. More on that another time. If you found this useful, I will be taking this event logic and placing it into the map for a sample game full of tutorial maps that I'll upload to my itch.io. Links always in the description below. I hope you found this tutorial useful and or helpful. If so, please give it a thumbs up, talk in the comment, do all that stuff to help me get up in the algorithm and put these videos out to people who need to see them. Alright, I'll see you tomorrow. I hope you have a fantastic day. Bye for now.